Hi, this is Elizabeth, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome to the C. Jane Sell podcast,
a relatable sales podcast for your weekly dose of sanity. I'm your host, Chelsea Dupre.
And I'm your host, Lee Nevis. Hello, and welcome
to
episode 2
of
C. Jane Sell.
Ta-da!
Yay! That was kind of a good back and forth we had going
I liked
there.
it.
I did
Yeah.
too. Yay. It's cute. Welcome to our second episode. I'm Lee.
I'm Chelsea.
And today, we're just going to chat with you a little bit about crappy office environments. Because
They're real.
Yes, they are real.
And we can create them ourselves unknowingly.
Ooh, already.
Yeah, I'm delving in.
Gosh, it's so accurate.
Yeah, it's a rainy day.
It is a rainy
so
day.
I'm just feeling all sorts of moody.
No, for sure. How's your week been so far?
The week has been good. Full of lots of work and calling and networking and all the things. What about you, girl?
My week's been pretty okay. I'm on the job search life right now.
Yes.
So
Killing it, crushing it.
I'm trying so hard to crush it. I got some stuff in the works that I'm pretty excited about. And then I have some other things in the works that I'm not so excited about. So
Understandably.
I'm living that life. I'm like at the point where I literally could do anything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's an exciting and terrifying and anxiety-filled, awesome time.
Semi-liberating, maybe?
Oh, completely. So liberating. It's super liberating.
I love it.
Yay. Well, let's delve into crappy office environments.
Yes.
Awesome. So what are some things that you have experienced in the office that have just been just horrible for office culture and makes the environment that you work in difficult to be around?
I would say one of the biggest things would be jealousy.
Yes, and that is unbelievably prominent especially in the sales world.
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy is such a huge issue that salespeople deal with all the time. Whether you work with people that are insanely jealous of you or you personally feel
Jealous. It's like, the thing about sales is like, you'll be rocking and rolling, and when you're like at the top of the top, and then all of a sudden, oh, crap.
that other person.
Welcome to the Sahara Desert, y'all. It is dry. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have one of your coworkers just on a roll, and you want to be happy for them. You are happy for them. But you're like, gosh, dang it.
Yeah.
Curse you. I want that. And that's just how it is in sales in general. Like,
yeah.
that's just sales.
It is. And it's tough too, like, especially because in sales, if you're working on a team, like if you're not like the only like salesperson, if you're not like a one-man show, if you're on a team, the team environment is really, really awesome and can cultivate an awesome environment. But, so like you really want other people to do well, but you also are just
you want to be the best.
Correct. Because
like, let's just say it, you want to be number one. And 100%. If you don't, then why are you in sales?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And like, it can be so difficult because I have this other side of me that's called 10-Step Lee.
Oh, I've never heard of 10-Step Lee.
So 10-Step Lee one thing will happen and she gets 10 steps ahead of everything. So in my mind, it's like if this other person makes another sale, I'm like, oh my God, okay, well, they made this sale, but like, what if I literally never make another sale in my entire life, and they literally just keep on going, and like, oh my God, and now I'm just, and my boss hates me, and like, everyone is the worst, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Fired. Yes.
No. Yeah. So 10-step Lee can come out in sales really easily. And I think 10-step everyone can come out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like the second like you've like submitted something and you feel like really good about your meeting with your prospect, and then they don't call you or they don't answer your call, you're like, oh my gosh, they hate me.
Yeah. And then
they're not going to buy anything from me. I did so bad. This is wrong. What did I do wrong?
And then you're sitting there and the phone rings behind you. And it's like, oh, hey, so-and-so.
Or you just stop by like, I'm so sorry. I had such a busy day. Like, and then you just like thought yourself into a pit of misery, basically.
Yes.
10-step Lee is everyone does that.
Yes. Ugh.
And if you don't, I'm jealous. So we can work together because that's poison.
If you aren't jealous, I'm jealous of you.
Yeah.
Oh
basically,
yeah.
I need to know your secrets.
No, it can be really, really tough to deal with, especially in the sales world. I think that one of the ways that I try to combat being jealous is, I don't want to say like living my truth, because that's just such like a cliche phrase.
But live the truth.
100%. Just realizing that, okay, like, yes, like other people are going to make sales. That is why they work with you. If they didn't make sales, they wouldn't have a job like beside you. So all you can do is just take like 30 minutes and be like, okay, like what can I do today? Like what can I write down?
I think it goes back to like that whole concept of you're you. This is what you can control. You can't control their sales. All you can do is work smarter and harder. That's really all you can do. So I think for me what happens is, like, this is the ugly truth right here. It's coming out.
I'm ready. Oh my God, I'm so ready for it.
It's like when someone's doing so good, it's like so easy to be like, forget it. Like, I can do better than that. Like, why, how did they get that? Which is so mean and so ugly and so nasty for me to say. But I've thought it. I'm like, are you for real? Like, but that's literally just jealousy coming out. It's just ugly, hideous, green, stupid jealousy. And it's so easy to get into a mind warp. Like, you literally put yourself into a mind warp. And then what happens is you get down on yourself, and then you become needy. And then your prospect senses that need. And they're like, oh, I need this sell, I need this sell, I need this. Like, you're not someone that anybody wants to be around. I mean, think about it.
Oh my gosh, it's so true.
If you have a friend that's just like sad all the time, like, you want to be there for your friends, okay? You definitely want to be there for your friends. But when you have a friend that is just always down and talking about people bad all the time and never happy for anybody's success, never happy for your success, or you have a friend that's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, good job for you, let's celebrate it, this is awesome, and they share in your success and they're happy and they genuinely want to help you, who are you going to choose
to support?
Yeah, and who are you going to want to do business with?
Exactly.
Like, we had a contractor on our house, and he would just talk so much crap on like his wife, and I was like, bro, get out. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. And then we had another contractor that was like, let's get this done. I'm sorry this took so long. We're going to take care of you. Blah, 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 blah. It's no longer there. We're still in a situation. But I would have rather dealt with him.
If you were still there, that would be the one we would pick.
We'd pick you.
Yes. I think a really good point to make out of this is you don't want to help someone who doesn't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that if you are being jealous and getting extremely filled with anxiety and filled with like
negative energy.
Yes, negative energy, like desperation.
Nobody likes desperation. It's like dating. Sales is like dating. Okay? Like,
it is like dating.
Who wants to be with anybody who is just in constant despair?
Yeah.
Nobody. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. And then think about like your personal relationships, whether it's with your friends, your spouse, your family, all of that, when you get into like a suckhole mind warp because you just can't get over the fact that somebody succeeded and be happy for them, it's a slippery slope, my friends. Because when you get in that negative rut, like I was kind of saying, it's one thing after another. Your customers don't want to work with you. The people in your office don't want to be around you. Then you become depressed and angry. And then you're not making any money. So now you're broke. So not only do you not have any friends, supportive coworkers, maybe a unhealthy relationship in the home.
Yeah.
Now you're broke.
And now you're broke. And your life's over. All
And your
because
resume sucks.
And your resume sucks all because you were negative.
Yeah. So just
Lesson
support
learned.
him.
Write this down.
Yeah, write that down. Put that in your box of treasures. But it's inevitable as a competitive person to feel a little bit of jealousy, but check yourself real quick.
Ugh.
Check yourself real quick.
Yes.
I always call my saint of a husband Adam. And I'll say something and he's like, what can you do about it? What can you do? You can go cold call 5 more people today. You can do you, girl.
That's a really good point. What can you do about it? I think one of the most practical pieces of advice that I ever got from my former boss was anytime that I felt like someone else was getting ahead of me or someone else was like making more sales, is he would make me sit down and for 10 minutes I would look through everything that was in my wheelhouse and everything that I thought I was going to close in the next week. And when you actually write it down and you have it on paper in front of you, you're like, oh snap, like I'm actually working on a lot right now.
Yeah.
So just like really practical, like if you think that you're struggling, make a list of everything that you did that week and be like, oh snap, like I already did all this. Like if I did that, and it's only Wednesday, I actually can like do so much for the rest of the week.
And put your blinders on.
Put your blinders
Say
on.
congrats, you go. I'm so happy for you. Genuinely, like, be happy for that person. But put your blinders on and do you.
Yes. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I love it. You want to know something else that really gets on my nerves?
Hit me with it.
In an office environment?
Hit me with it.
This is going to be a really, really good conversation.
Okay. Wait.
Is when people say, if you do something well, and then their response is, well, obviously, because you're a girl. I just felt my blood boil a little bit.
Yeah. I could have got that beating if I was a girl. It's such like a crutch that people put it on. Like, I hate that. It drives me absolutely bonkers.
It's so dumb because it's an excuse. I think that it's tied to the jealousy thing. Because if you and I set a crap ton of meetings and someone who is a guy who is not setting that many meetings, I think that people will try like the lamest excuses as to why they aren't setting meetings. But what they aren't saying is the fact that we are putting in the work, we're doing all the prospecting, we're making the calls, and we probably made a crap ton more calls and got a lot more no's before we set that one yes meeting. And I hate it when people say, well, yeah, obviously you're a girl. Like, if it's a guy that you set a meeting with, like, he just wants to meet you. It's like, okay.
Yeah, no, it drives me nuts. I've never once said, you got that because you're a guy.
I know.
I've never once said that.
Right.
Well, the only reason they met with you is because you're a dude.
I'm going to start saying that to people just to see what they say.
It's just so silly.
I know.
At the end of the day, it's really just silly.
I know.
And it is one of those things that triggers you to be like, you can be maybe upset about it, or you can be, you're right. They did meet with me because I'm a girl. Sucks that you're not, huh? Like, why does it matter? Why would that even be a deciding factor that they would meet with you because you're a girl?
Yeah.
And if they did meet with me because I'm a girl, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I hate this phrase because it insinuates that you're only setting meetings and you're not actually closing anything. I mean, you literally have sold more than anyone in your office this past year. So even if, you are setting a meeting, and let's just say, like, worst case scenario, you set a meeting with a guy and he's a super creepy creeper and that's the only reason he wanted to meet with you. Guess what? He's not going to buy from you, probably.
No, and I'm never going to go back, and I'm going to make my manager go with me.
Exactly. So I hate when people say like, oh, you only do this because you're a girl, because people are not going to buy from you because of your looks or because of the way you sound or the way you dress. People are going to buy from you because they trust you as a human being and they trust your product.
And you're knowledgeable.
And you're trustworthy.
I had someone very close to me say, it must be easy to go out and sell when you dress up in high heels and wear a skirt and do your makeup all up and do your hair. And I was like, excuse you?
Ooh. Oh, that makes me want to scream.
Or maybe the fact that I put in hours and hours and hours for presentations, proposals, getting samples, like calling on them. You know how many times they told me no over the phone and they hadn't seen me?
Yes. Gosh, let's murder that idea. Let's just kill it with fire right now.
Stop telling people they're getting things because of how they look. Why don't we put something on there, or because they're a girl or because they're a guy? Why not let's put it towards they worked really freaking hard on it. And maybe they got lucky. Right time, right place. But I'll tell you what, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Because if you're out there working, you are going to be in the right place at the right time.
Oh my gosh, it's a statistical fact. If you are out, you are more likely to be in places.
Okay, let's put
times.
This. If you're on your couch watching Friends on a Thursday at 1 p.m., munching on your leftover pizza,
right?
Are you more likely to sell an account when you're compared to someone else who's out there working till 5 and grinding, making phone calls, doing the things? Who's going to sell something and be lucky?
Right. Now, that person out till 5 might have gotten 5 no's, while the person on the couch didn't get 5 no's.
Yeah.
But I bet you anything, you're more than likely to get a yes when you're out working than you are at home on your couch.
One thing that I have found has helped me when I'm feeling as though I'm not getting anywhere with anything or anyone is I start marking my statistics. Okay, 1 call, that's a no. 1. And then I try to make it a game. Like, how many no's is it going to be till I get a yes? Like, I'm going for no's. Because if I am expecting that, expecting a yes, but aware that I'm more likely going to get a no, it's almost like I'm bathing in turtle wax. It can just roll right off my back. And I'm looking for how many no's is it going to take to get to that yes. And then I'm going to write that down. It took me 10 no's. My 11th call, I got a yes. Okay, so in 11 calls, I'm going to get another yes.
Ooh, I like that. Because it's easier to accept the no's.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I'm only on
one down.
I'm on my 5th no. Like, no big deal.
5 more to go.
Yeah, I got to get to number 11 to get a yes. Even though, like...
It's a numbers game.
It is a numbers game. Ooh, I like that.
So don't put it on yourself. Don't get jealous that so-and-so got a meeting. I work with my coworker, Adam and Barron. He is one of my very best friends in the office, and we are very, very competitive together. And every time he's out there smoking a pack of cigs in his car, and I'm in talking to people, and he'll come in, hey, have you got anything yet? No. Have you got anything yet? No. Kind of talk about it for a minute. And then he'll come in, I got something, and the friend in me is like, yes. But the coworker in me is like, I want to punch you in the face. Get out.
I want that also. I want something too.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Want to call for me now? Glad you got that.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Go back to your car. So it was a good conversation.
And see, the reality of this is that you don't have to be the perfect person to be good at sales because like you were... I don't remember, were we talking about this earlier about how you can either choose to have like a good 15 minutes or a bad 15 minutes?
Yeah, is your day really a bad day, or did you have a bad 15 minutes and you're letting it affect you? And a way that you can let it affect you is talking about it with your coworkers. Because it is so easy. Like, again, my coworker Adam and I, it is so easy for us to sit down and talk about this happened, and this person said this, and this person said this. Next thing we know, an hour of our phone block is gone. Nothing productive has happened, and we're both upset.
Yes.
So we've been really working on, like, trying to be a little bit more positive with each other. So if you want a better work environment, maybe talk to your coworkers. Like, if you see that I'm getting down or talking negatively, I need you to...
check me.
Yeah.
I love that.
Get in check.
And I think that it's really important to remember that when you start your day, and if it starts off bad, that doesn't mean the rest of your day has to be bad.
No.
It's like when people, I hear dietitians say this all the time, when people wake up in the morning and like they're on a diet and they have like a donut for breakfast and immediately they say, well, guess my diet for the day is ruined. I guess I'll just do whatever.
Yeah.
That's so stupid because that's like if you drop your phone on the ground and it cracks a little bit. Well, I guess it's just ruined. I'm just going to friggin' smash it with a hammer now. Like, no. That's
I'm on 3 cracks and going strong.
Exactly. Like, you don't have to take a little small inconvenience and make it ruin your entire day.
No.
I love that.
And the other thing is when I was in President's Club, the lead salesperson for the company, he talked about basically like iPhones. I can't say as good as him. He was so great when he talked about it. But basically when you go in to an iPhone store, you have people that work on it and sell, and then you have people that sell it. Like the people who sell it tell you about all the great things of it. And the people who work on that, they fix out the bugs. Okay, so if you're in a service industry like me, your service team is there to fix the bugs. Or if you have something in your office, like that's not what you're supposed to be dealing with. You're supposed to be selling the product. So work on what you can sell. Let the bugs go to the wayside. Like let the negativity go to the back burner here and focus on the good things that you can do and what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. And don't get bogged down with all like the little negative things that you're going to get. If maybe someone isn't happy, fix it. Give it to the right person to fix it. And go about your day. Or if you have a coworker that's really negative, tell them, be like, I can't be around you. You're too negative. Go eat a Snickers and we'll talk after lunch.
You're at a 3. I need you to be at least at an 8.
Yeah. Or just don't talk.
Listen, don't speak to me right now.
If there's times when I'm being extra quiet, like, it's probably for everyone's benefit.
100%. I love it.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
But if there is something really genuinely wrong, you should talk to your boss. Okay.
Oh, 100%. Yes, that's enough. Like, we are not sitting here saying, like, just sit back and let people walk all over you and just say, no, like, that's not at all.
Yeah.
We're not telling you to suck it up and stay quiet. We are saying, like, if there actually are issues, like, you should probably say something.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Please take our advice 50% of the time.
Yeah, maybe 75%.
I love it. I think that another thing that, and again, we have to remind anyone who's listening to us is that a lot of the issues that Chelsea and I have experienced, this is because we are female. A lot of our experiences are going to be coming from the female perspective. Mm-hmm. So we're not trying to sit here and just like hate all over dudes at all. Mm-hmm. It's just the truth and the fact of the matter is that in sales environments, especially like Chelsea working in the blue collar world, me coming from a sports background, we have worked in a lot of bro-y sort of, we're around like this masculine energy constantly. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of the issues that we have dealt with are going to be based on the fact that we are women who are working in a very male-centric world. And I think that it's really important to say that the guys that I've worked with, a lot of them have been incredible and wonderful, but there are some things that I just don't think that men are like aware of that they do that are just really just so much to deal with as a female.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there can be sort of like a bro-y, like masculine, like toxicity to an office place.
Well, because not everybody can run on eat, grind, repeat.
Eat, grind, repeat. Oh.
Okay.
Oh my God, I know.
Like, I'm all about the whole stay kind, be humble, and hustle. That's great. But I can't eat, grind, repeat. Eat, grind, repeat. It's like gym, tan, laundry.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, guys.
Mm-hmm. It is exhausting.
And not everyone's perfect, so stop putting on a show. I mean, I feel bad because maybe that's what makes people tick. Maybe that's if they have to, like, tell themselves that this is what they have to do and give the textbook answers. And when you're in your sales meeting, give textbook answers when you don't really have much going on to prove those textbook answers. But you want to look like successful. Mm-hmm. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have bad weeks. It's okay. But not everybody needs to be in that, like, masculine type of a...
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, like that
chest
mindset.
out, head up, whatever. Like, stop.
I know. I had a job once, and I was... are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I was selling... This is a really glamorous job. I want you to prepare yourself. I don't want you to be too jealous or anything.
Okay, I might be.
I was selling DirecTV.
Oh, the DirecTV days. That's where Dave found you, isn't it?
I know. At Sam's Club, girl.
Oh, the Sam's Club samples.
Oh, yeah. And I need to start this off by saying that I hated this job so much. It was terrible. But my boss was incredible. Like, so good at sales. Super nice. Super motivating. Gave advice. Like, would try to help you. Every single day we would come in and do training. Like, he really, really cared. And he, honest to God, probably makes more money than I can even fathom doing this. Mm-hmm. So this is not at all a hit on him as a business person.
No.
But girl, I came in one day and it was like my 5th day. And it was, I think, like 9:30 or 10 a.m. in the morning, and they were playing that Big Sean song that it's the last night took a L, but tonight I bounce back. Blasting at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And they made us all play freaking Flip Cup with Red Bull.
I could use some Red Bull right now.
Can you imagine me
No, I
fresh
can't.
from Los Angeles in Louisville, Kentucky?
They're like, this is not an acai bowl.
I know. I was like, what the heck is going on? And I just remember being like, okay, this is not the culture for
Okay,
gay kids.
I think that
like,
the whole like chest out type of like man thing, testosterone thing really was from when I was in summer sales, which is very similar to selling Dish and DirecTV.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I can't imagine that at all. Actually,
I know. I think that ultimately it's just you have to find out what works for you. And personally, for me, that culture does not work for me.
No,
and it probably doesn't work for a lot of people.
Yeah,
and maybe it works for some, and that's cool. But I think that, especially as a boss, like, you have to read the room. You have to understand, like, maybe if this works for you personally, it's not going to work for your entire sales team.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware and not implement things that only work for you. As a sales leader, you have to figure out what works for each individual.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing that goes along with that testosterone type of like bromance plus being a salesperson where you're type A and you want to talk about how amazing you are. This was back when I first started working. We had a girl in our office, and I mean, she was nice, but she didn't have like a lot of success. Mm-hmm. But she was giving out free advice, and I'm like, why? Okay, mm-hmm. So I'm gonna give some very good advice here. Okay. And if you don't have a pen, you grab one. Do not give advice to people that you can't back up. Does that make sense? Don't tell me how you run your day when you're not working hard or when you're not producing. Don't tell anybody that, whether you're a man or you're a woman, because everyone, it's annoying. Like, I'm just going to be so upfront right now. If you can't back that up, then don't say what you're doing.
So she was essentially going around being like, oh, like,
I do this and this and this, and you should do this. And this is what I do in that situation.
Even though she never did any of those things.
Didn't do any of those things. Didn't even have, like, a halfway to quota. Like, don't, guys.
Right.
Like, that is a toxic work environment when everybody in the office is like, did she really just say that? I mean, this was a long time ago. Mm-hmm. No longer works where I work or anything like that. But this is a general rule to everyone. Mm-hmm. Man, woman, this makes a toxic environment, and people won't appreciate it, nor do you have any credibility. And why would you say that if you don't do it?
Yeah, well, I think that's another thing too. Like, that's why a lot of sales leaders and bosses, like within the sales world, are not the best. Because, I mean, like, freaking raise your hand out there if you've ever had a terrible boss. Literally everyone has. Is because it's difficult to find people who are both motivational and good at supporting other people, but also have experience and have actually done the things that they're telling other people to do. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's one of the hardest things to find. That, I mean, I've had bosses in the past that I don't respect in the least bit, because they'll tell me to do this and like, oh, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this, but I know damn well that they have not done any of those things ever in their life. Like, have you ever in your life set 30 meetings in a week? No, you haven't. Like, don't come after me. Like, you know, it's just like, if you're going to give someone advice and tell someone to do something a certain way, be able to either accept, like, hey, yes, I've never done this before, but this is what I expect of you, and this is going to be difficult, and if you don't reach it, we can come back and talk to you.
And I know so-and-so has got these results from doing this. Correct.
Yes, like, I've seen this work. Like, yeah. So, that's a good point.
So, stay in your own lane, and just don't do that. I'm just giving you guys some this is like the type of advice you get, like, don't eat yellow snow. Don't give unsolicited advice if you can't back it up. I think that's fair.
Word.
And that causes...
Walk it like you talk it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And maybe it is good advice, but if I know that you're not doing it, I'm going to be like...
Correct.
If you could see my face right now. It's very skeptical.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
So I think those are the biggest things about office environment that really get to people. Was the jealousy, fakeness... Maybe not respecting other people's...
This is taking a really negative turn.
Yeah.
So, like, just don't be jealous and respect me, okay? Thanks. That's the end of the episode. See you next week. No, but I think, well, the most important thing to remember here is that all of these things that we were talking about are 100%, like, we are guilty of them, most likely. Like, you and I have been guilty of jealousy.
Oh.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you and I have been guilty of a lot of these things.
I was jealous today. My coworker, Adam, was talking about how this deal is going so well. And I was like, okay, I'm, like, happy for you, but I'm not in a space where I can, like, celebrate with you. So call me tomorrow.
just let me know. Well, but you know what, though, is that you... We're able to recognize that,
yeah,
though,
like,
and you can communicate that to him.
Yeah, we have a good relationship, so he gets it.
Yeah.
It's whatever, but yeah. So I'm sorry I went real negative on everybody, but I'm talking about things that can bring down an office environment, and those are the things.
No, they can. Can I drop some, like, real knowledge on people?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm going to tell you all maybe the best thing that anyone has ever told me.
Yes.
In my entire life.
Is it from PD?
Oh, it's from PD. For sure. So I used to have this coworker named Pat. I won't say his last name because I just realized, like, we probably shouldn't say people's last names on here if they want to just, like, remain anonymous. So anyways, his first name is Pat. And Pat is, like, the coolest cucumber, most chill human being I've probably ever worked with. Just... Nothing ever affects him. He's always just super level-headed. And I just, like, I aspire to be like that.
I love it.
So I was in the kitchen one day, and I was just having a rough day. Really rough day. And he walked in and was like, hey, Lee, like, how are you? And I was like, fine. Just, like, radiating saltiness. Just saltiness just coming off my skin. And he just was like, okay. And, like, went on, made his coffee, and was about to walk out of the kitchen. And he just turns around and looks at me and he says, Lee, I'm going to tell you something. And I was like, okay, Pat. He goes, if something is bothering you, it's because you either care too much or care too little. And it's your job to figure out which it is and to do something about it.
Mic drop.
Freaking mic drop.
Yep.
Because, like, I will never forget that probably as long as I live.
Yeah, that's some quality.
Because it's so
advice.
true. Like, every situation in life where you're being bothered or something's upsetting you, it genuinely is because if you care too much about that subject, you can recognize it. You're like, I'm putting way too much of my energy into this. I need to forget about it. I need to stop. I need to let it go.
And energy is so valuable.
Energy is so valuable. You cannot give your energy to something that's not worth it. But if you are upset about something because you care too little, you realize you need to maybe put a little bit more love and a little bit more attention on that. And, like, let that thing, like foster it and grow it.
Yeah. It's your little baby plant.
It's your little baby plant. So
water that plant, y'all.
So that's a really good little golden nugget.
I like it.
That I remembered.
Yes.
Yay.
I love that.
Ultimately, just don't let people take your energy, because at the end of the day, that's all you have. And in sales, you have to keep your energy.
You have to. Because people love, like, a full of energy human that's happy, or like that bumbling salesman that's just his sweet little guy. So there are such things as negative work environments. Some of the things that we talked about lead to those. Whether you have a boss hole that, you know,
boss hole's such a good word.
Boss hole. We'll talk more about boss holes. Or maybe you have like a Penelope one-upper. Or maybe you have a negative Nancy. Or maybe you have, you know, that one person that really knows what they're doing, but they don't take their own advice. Or maybe you're jealous, or you have jealousy. All of these things are real, and people are going to feel this way, and it is what it is. But find out why you feel how you feel, and if you can change that situation. If you can either A, remove yourself from the situation, or B, fix the situation. Choose what you want to do. Do it. Dang it.
I love it. And if you can't figure it out, just get a therapist.
Or call your mom.
They're life-changing. And so are moms.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That sounds pretty good to me.
Awesome. Well, we hope that you enjoyed listening to our episode today. On our next episode, we're going to be talking about being yourself in sales, and how that will just absolutely lead to you being the best professional you possibly can be.
Yeah.
In the meantime, if you have any questions, ideas, if you want to be like, hey, you guys are awesome, or hey, you guys suck, either way, we don't care. We would love for you to visit.
We'll take your critique.
We'll take your critique. We will This is our second podcast ever, okay? We will take your critiques.
Yeah, only up from here, babe.
Yes. You can find us on Instagram at CJaneSellPodcast. And, you know, rate us, subscribe, rate, review, do all the good things. And we hope you have an awesome week. And just, like, be yourself. Stay in your bubble.
Get it, girl.
Bye. See you next week.